can spend the day play acting.
Hey, y'all.
Having to do
It's
this.
me again.
Republicans refuse to act.
Ready to continue this simplistic puzzle game. And I thought it was going to be more of a challenge, but it is fun to play. Visually, it's pretty good. I like it. Great job on the graphics there. And
with what he thought was a serious piece of border legislation, as you can just hear.
But, you know, so far I haven't had any problem solving any of the puzzles.
Senate Republicans in negotiating that bipartisan deal were not in favor of it, and for that reason, it failed on the Senate floor not once, but twice.
Let's continue on.
It appears unlikely that Congress has anything in the
I might finish it today.
election to address the southern border with Mexico. For that reason,
But it'll probably take me another day or so to finish it.
Again, executive action always weaker than legislation.
So without further ado,
expected.
let us go to the game screen.
Congressional correspondent Nathaniel Reed for us live in Washington. Nate, thank you. Let's go on the scene now out to California. This is in Santa Ana, California. We're expecting a news conference related to the former interpreter of Dodgers star Shohei Ohtani to begin shortly. Ipe Misuhara is his name. He has now officially pleaded guilty to stealing 17
Yeah, I can. It seems like I'm being able to do like
pay off some gambling debt.
at least 2 chapters every hour and a half. It takes me about 45 minutes per chapter.
There has never been a better time to join AARP.
And let me see, where was I? I completely forgot.
AARP discounts, programs, and services that will add real value to your life. As a member, you can get discounts on buses and eye exams. Save on prescription drugs not covered by Medicare. But you can also save on hotels, restaurants, concert tickets, and so much more. I think AARP helps members access exclusive benefits like Medicare supplement insurance, even auto insurance.
Yeah,
We can use that. AARP offers financial tips, career resources, and training for important employees against theft and scammers. That's good to know.
yeah, this is where I was.
Join AARP. 1 year for just $12. That's 25% off the regular membership price. You'll even get a second membership included free. And you'll receive AARP the magazine filled with information and articles important to you. Plus, you'll get hundreds of benefits and an additional free gift if you call now. And you don't have to be retired to join AARP. You can join
a strange symbol here. What could it be?
Benefits. For 60 years, AARP has fought to protect your Social Security, Medicare, and more.
This is,
now you know how AARP helps people like us take on today. So don't miss your chance to join now. Call or go online now to take advantage of this special offer. 1 year for just $12. That's a savings of 25% off the regular membership price. And you'll get a second AARP membership for anyone in your home, free. And get a full year subscription to AARP the magazine, filled with information and articles important to you. Plus, you get the AARP mobile app that connects you to local events and activities near you. And as a free gift, we'll include this insulated trunk organizer. So don't miss this chance to save 25% and get 1 year for just
no strange symbol here.
Call 800-625-6676.
Maybe there's more.
Before I would ever give a product to a patient, I tried it on myself. So I started taking Super Beats, and I said, wow, Super Beats is a game changer. It's giving me the energy that I want, the blood pressure support that I need,
circulation, heart health, and you feel like you can get things done.
I really am feeling a difference.
I just love it.
Over 1 million people have put Super Beats blood pressure support supplements to the test. And today, we have over 80,000 5-star ratings and reviews. We're trusted by over 120 pro and college sports teams. Super Beats is the only #1 doctor, pharmacist, and cardiologist recommended deep brand for heart health support.
It helps dilate blood vessels. It helps increase my circulation. It's having a beneficial effect on my heart and my energy. It makes me healthier.
My grandkids say, Grandma, I can't keep up with you. Where do you get your energy from? And I said, Super Beats.
Get a free month supply, plus free shipping and a 90-day money-back guarantee on all bundles. Exclusively when you call or visit superbeats.com. Welcome back. Here's a lot of some of the events we're following right now. Live look at the State Department in the next couple of minutes. We're expecting the daily briefing to begin there. The Dow just started, just barely. to trade in the green after being in the red
we need to
throughout
find
the day.
these
Just keep an eye
separate symbols.
ahead of markets closing 4 p.m. Eastern time, and Hunter Biden's trial continuing on in Delaware, and that is where we will begin right now. On the scene, Wilmington, Delaware, the president's son, Hunter Biden, on trial on federal gun-related charges. He's accused of buying and possessing a firearm in 2018 while using drugs. Hunter Biden is also charged with lying on a federal gun purchase form about his drug use. He's pleaded not guilty to all 3 charges, and legal affairs correspondent Abijoy Burnett joins us now live from that courthouse in Delaware. Abijoy, what's the latest?
Hey Chris, a lot happened today, so let's start out with the witnesses. We know that there was one witness who emailed the court possibly overnight saying, I shouldn't say witness, someone who is on, let me get this straight, one of the jurors.
Oh no, this one's different.
The juror emailed the court
is,
overnight saying that they would not be able to continue
it's a circle with a line through it.
They live about an hour away,
Could it be
and
that
they
one?
do not
No.
have a vehicle. So because of that juror number 3 was excused, and one of the alternates was moved over into that person's position. We had 4 alternates starting out yesterday. We're now down to 3 of those alternates. One other thing that happened this morning with the jurors here is that they were, according to people who were inside that courtroom. So there's a possibility that some of the proceedings started a little bit later this morning because at least 4 of the jurors were late. But in that meantime, what Judge Mary Ellen Noreika used that time to do was work through motions, get things done on both sides, and then eventually, within about an hour, about 55 minutes or so, we were able to get this process underway. So today is day number 2 of this. It was a big day because we had opening statements. And I want to start out with what the prosecutor in this case, Derek Hines, told the jury members when he was able to deliver his opening statement to them. He said, no one is above the law. That is the way he started things out. And he said, it doesn't even matter who you are, not even if your name is Hunter Biden. You are not above the law. And because of that, he told the jury members that Mr. Biden, Hunter Biden here, he should be found guilty on all 3 of these federal gun charges because he bought a gun while he was on drugs, and that is against the law. The prosecutor here made it very clear to the jury members that this is not a case that is prosecuting someone's substance abuse. This is a case that is going after someone who bought a gun illegally. When the defense attorneys got their opportunity to go up and address the jury members, they really kind of honed in on specific words here. Abby Lowell, the defense attorney, who's representing Hunter Biden, he said, did Hunter Biden knowingly buy this weapon, knowing that he was a drug addict? He also wanted to focus on this issue of the word at the time when Hunter Biden bought that weapon. Did he know that he was under the influence? So those are the opening statements that were made earlier this morning, and then we were able to move into the first witness here. We mentioned this earlier today on Scripps News that the first witness would be an FBI special agent. And she went up and pretty much started to introduce certain pieces of evidence that they would then be able to bring into this entire process. So for about the last hour and a half or so, what the jury members have been listening to are excerpts from Hunter Biden's book. He wrote this book in 2019, and then he was also the narrator of this book. And what Hunter Biden essentially did in that book, what the prosecutor is trying to prove here, is that at that certain time period in 2018 when he bought this weapon, he was actually on drugs. And they're using his own words against him. We also got some additional details today about the people who we can anticipate will be witnesses once this process gets underway beyond our first witness today. We know that Hallie Biden, the widow of Beau Biden, the brother of Hunter Biden, who Hunter Biden had a relationship with, had a romantic relationship with. She is someone who will be called to testify about those moments where she found this weapon that Hunter Biden bought, and that she actually discarded of that weapon. So that is someone who will be called to testify. A previous girlfriend of Hunter Biden will also be brought up. Also, his ex-wife. So they're really bringing in a lot
Solid,
of the task. Of course, the burden here is on the prosecution to prove everything. They anticipate that they will call at least 10 witnesses throughout this process that is expected to last for about 2 weeks, and we have to wait to see exactly what the defense will be doing to counter all of this. We're just now in the initial stages, Chris. So this particular witness, the special agent with the FBI, is now up. Once she is done with the prosecution, defense attorneys will have their ability to ask her some questions.
Yeah, and
ask her questions.
Very personal testimony expected throughout this trial of Hunter Biden. Legal affairs correspondent Abijoy Burnett live for us in Wilmington, Delaware. Thank you. Let's go back on Capitol Hill. Merrick Garland is continuing his testimony after a brief break. He is speaking in front of the House Judiciary Committee. We'll continue to keep an eye on this and bring this to you. And as we go to break, a reminder that we also always want to hear from you. Give us a call on our Scripps CS viewer hotline. The number is right there. Share your comments and story ideas with us anytime. We'll be right back.
Why is it like this? I got this, and I got this, and I got to figure out these.
The bedroom suite. With deliberate details and
I got to figure out these. Can these be broken down to
Or
shoes?
the indoor entrance view. Check in at Duma.co.
We love being outside, but the sun makes our deck and patio too hot to enjoy.
Now, thanks to our new Sun Center retractable awning, we can select full sun or instant shade in just 60 seconds.
It's 20 degrees cooler under the sun center, and we get instant protection from harmful UV rays and sun glare.
For pricing starting at less than $1,000, transform your outdoor living space into a shaded retreat your family will love. When you call, we'll rush you a special $200 discount certificate with your free awning idea kit. You'll get your sun center for as little as $799.
Look at that.
But this is a limited time offer.
For over 20 years, Sun
So
Center has been
simple
the
and stupid.
best-selling retractable awning in America.
Call now for this free awning idea
What is
kit,
this?
packed with great awning solutions that will let you enjoy your deck or patio much more often. Plus, get this $200 discount certificate that will bring you your sun center for as little as $799. But this is a limited time offer. Call now.
Sun Centers are backed with up to a 10-year limited warranty.
More than 1 million families in America own and love their sun center. Now you too can discover why life is better under a sun center. It's like putting an extension on your home. And talk about options. Choose motorized or manual. And for just a little extra, add LED lighting for evening enjoyment.
There are so many incredible styles to choose from in our free awning idea kit. Get a custom-built awning without the custom-built price.
Call now to get the whole Sun Center story. You get this free awning idea kit. Now for your free awning idea kit with local dealer info
Some
and
kind of ship's
$200 discount certificate. Life is better under a Sun Center. Act now and save.
Ship's log. I have no idea what happened to whoever was wearing this helmet, but it looks like something wrong is going on.
Okay, let's do this now. So, just straighten your mind.
So I solved it?
So,
It's up there complete.
strongest.
Hey, it's so simple and stupid.
Scripps Newsline is a different kind of nightly
Okay.
news show. We slow things down so we
was
can
a
really
little bit
take the
chunky.
time to explore a story. You'll see longer interviews, investigations, and
Oh
in-depth
God, chapter
reporting.
6.
We know keeping up with the headlines is important, but there are just some stories that really deserve a deeper conversation.
Watch Scripps Newsline tonight at 9, only on Scripps News.
Welcome back. You're taking a live look at some of the events we're following right now. You can see the State Department briefing just got underway, and Merrick Garland, the Attorney General, is continuing his testimony on Capitol Hill in front of the House Judiciary Committee. And the Dow right now just started trading in the green within the last half hour or so. But let's go
back to
on the scene
39,
to the
or
White
is it
House.
still at
Here's
38?
Senator Mark Kelly is out talking about the
What was
border.
it,
Let's listen to
38,
what he has to say.
38.5?
Good afternoon, everybody.
So,
It's nice to be here today to address and make some progress on an issue that has affected my state, the state of Arizona, for decades. Arizona deserves a real solution to this problem at the border.
Engine for small-sized vehicle from the redacted civilization. This device can most likely cover great distances thanks to its combined redacted generator.
Negotiated with Democrats, Republicans, and with the White House.
Something
fell apart at the last minute because the former president decided that he wanted to have this as a campaign issue. And that's incredibly unfortunate.
Anyway, and crystalline bar concentrators.
Complex. It changes frequently. But it's also a situation that's been unsafe for migrants. It's been unsafe
Two exceedingly rare technologies. Despite the crash landing where it was found, the machine appears to be in working order.
Now, today,
needless to say that our military partners already see obvious applications and will enlist the help of the Brazilian team to get there.
This situation.
These types of initiatives are getting increasingly redacted, moreover redacted, back on Earth as soon as possible. Do not handle bar concentrators with bare hands.
Do you think that President
Biden
should have done this at the beginning of his administration? Well, for 3 years, the President has been calling on Congress to take action on this issue. And we spent months negotiating what was strong bipartisan legislation. We're going to have funding for more Border Patrol agents. We're going to have more fentanyl detection machines at our ports of entry. There was a change in policy, building the facilities that hold migrants as you adjudicate asylum claims, judges and officials that can adjudicate these claims. That was all part of this legislation. Unfortunately, our Republican colleagues ran away from it. This is something the President has been calling on for the last 3 years. I've been in the United States Senate for 3.5 years. The President has been in office for the same amount of time. So this is something we've worked on over a period of time. Now, with my Republican
it's like
colleagues,
a big handle on top of a big screw.
We're at this point where the White House is taking some steps that I truly believe is going to make a big difference.
Have you talked to any of your Republican colleagues who did work on
it's written in English.
What do they think about President Biden's action?
I haven't spoken to them today about it, and I'm interested in hearing what they have to say. My expectation is that they will say, hey, this is a good step forward. But really what we need is legislation from Congress, and I'm going to continue to work on this because this is important for my state. It's also important for our national security and for immigration policy. We also need comprehensive immigration reform that will benefit our economy.
Senator. All right, that's Arizona Senator Democrat Mark Kelly commenting on the executive action the president is expected to take today regarding the southern border, limiting the amount of asylum seekers crossing into the United States. We're expecting the president to make remarks around 2 p.m. today, so a little more than a half hour from now. We'll continue to monitor that briefly when it happens. I want to thank you for being with us. I'm Chris Stewart. The audience giving us normal programming is next, but if you're staying with us, we have much more headed your way.
Is that the handle?
Scene, a live look here.
Can't handle it with my bare hands.
That's underway. We'll go there next.
When a car breaks down, you should call Endurance.
He says,
Car repairs again.
do not handle bar concentrators with bare hands. Bar concentrators. Bar concentrators.
Without Endurance, a broken AC can cost over $800.
What the hell is bar concentrators?
An engine over $1,000. With Endurance,
What did I find?
and even better, you pick the mechanic you trust. Just remember, you gotta
This is
call
what?
Endurance when your car is working, need covered, when it's not.
Endurance covers
What is this?
car on the road up to 20 years old. No matter the mileage,
It's a handle.
costly breakdowns.
With Endurance, all major parts are covered, plus hundreds more.
Endurance is paid out over $8,700 in car repairs. Unlike other companies I've dealt with as a mechanic, Endurance is the direct administrator of their plans. That means no middleman and no runaround. We just call Endurance direct.
Endurance has been putting money back into American pockets for nearly 2 decades. And if you break down, they'll jump your battery, tow, deliver gas, change the flat, unlock your car, and more.
We were stranded on the side of the road in 110 degrees heat. Endurance came to the rescue. Just look at what thousands of real drivers are saying about Endurance on top review sites. Call now and we'll upgrade you to a full year with this free, a $2,000 value.
One easy phone call, and let's cover car repairs. So make the call.
Oh, I'm gonna duplicate it.
Right now you can get $300.
I'm gonna duplicate it. So one goes here,
A $2,000 value.
one goes here.
All backed by a 30-day money-back guarantee.
Man, how did they put it down there?
Who's gonna pay for your next
I guess those little niblets on the track, huh?
Call 1-800-860-1846 for free quote.
I'm gonna inside mode. It's either milk, pork, or cinnamon. Maybe cinnamon?
I could start by removing a lot of things from my diet and adding them back in one at a time until I get over it. Or I could find out what might actually be bothering me before removing and adding foods back in again. I'm gonna do that.
Chapter 6. Alright.
Thanks for joining us on the scene. I'm Chris here. Here are some of the events that we're following right now. The trial, Hunter Biden continuing in Delaware. You take a live look outside the courthouse. He's facing federal gun charges. We're also keeping a close eye on the House floor.
Big fire, it's perfect. And then to handle large or dangerous items. This is for the bar concentrated.
It's about 10 o'clock this morning, East Coast time. And then on the bottom right, on Wall Street, with the Dow now trading about 74 points up right now. Let's go on the scene to Washington, where the State Department briefing is underway. Spokesperson Matthew Willis is at the podium. Let's listen live.
My first word for SAM and others.
Is stuck.
The U.S. State Department supports it.
So we need to make clear that while we oppose the decision taken by the prosecutor of the ICC, we don't think it was appropriate, especially while there are ongoing investigations inside Israel looking at some of these very same questions. And we're willing to work with Congress on what a response might look like in terms of support sanctions.
And what would that response look like then for sanctions?
So that is a consultation that we will have with Congress. I'm not going to preview from here. Those discussions we can have with members of Congress, but our position as the administration is that we don't support sanctions, don't believe they're appropriate at this time.
Right. One other thing is this Time interview with President Biden. In there, he said when he was asked if Israeli forces have committed war crimes in Gaza, he said it's uncertain. The fact that he did not say an outright no, don't you think that's something that the State Department should consider launching an atrocity determination on, given that you also said in your NSM report that it is possible that there may have been violations?
So we do have processes ongoing to look at whether there have been violations of international humanitarian law. I'm not going to speak to that. That's why the president said the answer to that question is uncertain. We don't know the other side. It's something that we have an ongoing process to look at and to try to get an answer to. But at this time, we don't know the answer. As we made clear in the National Security Memo 20 reports, that we are looking at those various questions and making those assessments now.
Right. So you're just saying that we don't know if Israeli forces have committed war crimes in Gaza or not. You said we don't know.
I would go a bit further and say that we said we don't know the definitive answer to it, but the NSM 20 report said it's reasonable to conclude that they may have, given the sheer number of incidents, but we need to finish these processes to have definitive answers to the question.
So despite these assessments, do you think there's no change in U.S. policy to continue providing arms to
There is no change in our policy. As you know, we paused one shipment. We have not, but we have not changed our overall policy, and we will continue to support Israel's security.
Thank you, Matt. There are reports that.
Oh,
no, I didn't.
Just going along the front row.
There are reports that the CIA director, Brett Everett, heading back to the region and furtherance potential hostage and ceasefire talks. Do you expect that the secretary will engage in motion diplomacy in the region as well?
So the secretary has been engaged, as I discussed in my opening comments I discussed yesterday, in a number of phone conversations with partners in the region over the past now 4 days since Friday's announcement, and he will be traveling to Europe, leaving tonight to join the president for his trip to Normandy and then a bilateral visit with France, and any further comments and ask beyond that.
Okay. And I know you said that there has been no response received as yet from Hamas. Is it known from either Egyptian or Qatari interlocutors whether the proposal has actually reached GIS and MAR for his evaluation, even if a response hasn't come back?
I don't know the answer to that question. I don't believe you know.
Okay. On aid, you mentioned yesterday that there were constructive discussions that took place in Cairo. Obviously, a number of international aid groups have been raising alarms that the situation is dire and getting worse by the day. So where do efforts to reopen Rafah stand, and what is the broader aid picture in terms of what the U.S. is facilitating on a daily basis?
So with respect to Rafah, there were conversations over the weekend in Cairo between the United States, Israel, and the government of Egypt that focused on how to get Rafah open. We found in the discussions there were detailed proposals that were supported by the various parties. The negotiators had to go back to their countries, consult with their capitals, and continue discussions. So we have a number of proposals that are on the table that need to be fleshed out. There are different ways you can go about reopening Rafah that we are working through. Separate from that, but of course related to the question of humanitarian assistance, we have continued to work to get Kerem Shalom back flowing through Kerem Shalom after the decision about 10, 11 days or so ago made by Egypt to allow trucks to move through Kerem Shalom. Yesterday, I think it was somewhere around 250 trucks that went in through.
Oh, this is another one of those stupid ones that I did. I figured out without knowing what the hell I did.
The majority of those were humanitarian assistance trucks, so trucks by the UN partner agencies, not commercial trucks. Generally, over the past few days, we continue to see a mix of commercial trucks and humanitarian assistance. We want to see both. I think it's important that there be both, and we're looking to maximize as many, maximize as many as possible coming through all of the various processes. Third thing I'll say, is that the Pentagon continues to work to try to reestablish the maritime option, get that here up and running so we can flow those things in. But then the big question over all this is the status of the ceasefire proposal, which would alleviate all of these various logistical problems that make it so hard to move humanitarian assistance in through a conflict. Would make all of those not 100% go away, but would make them, in many cases, evaporate or be at least significantly lessened. So the push for a ceasefire deal is inherently related to the push to try to dramatically increase the level of humanitarian assistance that makes it to the people cost.
One more, just to tag on to Meyer's question about President Biden's remarks in this recent interview. Is the Secretary of the view that Prime Minister Netanyahu may be prolonging the conflict in that same office?
I don't think that's exactly what the President said. He said that some people could conclude that. Look, the President's comments speak for themselves. I'm not going to add anything to that. But I will just say, we've been engaged with the Prime Minister on this question. The Prime Minister has put forward a proposal on behalf of the Israeli government that would lead to ceasefire and ultimately could lead to the end of the war and the end of the negotiations. We're trying to get that ceasefire.
Of course, so there's every reason for people to draw that conclusion or comment from you.
That's not it?
One follow-up. I mean, so the proposal is on the table. As a contingency, have you had any indication that the Israelis are also planning for a day-after scenario, as you have urged them to do?
We've seen the defense minister come out and make public statements about possible day-after scenarios. You've seen there obviously statements from Mr. Gantz, member of the War Cabinet, about the need to do day-after planning. We have still not seen the kind of rigorous planning for the end of the conflict that we think is essential. And as you've heard us say, this isn't just about the end of the conflict, because in our view, without a plan for the day after, there won't be a day after. Without a plan for post-conflict governance and some kind of political transition, you're not going to have an end of the conflict. You're just going to have continued insurgency and Israel being bogged down, fighting against Hamas or Hamas's successors for years and years to come.
Ukraine.
Yeah, that's right.
Thank you. Just to follow up on Olivia about the air and Time Magazine. I thought the president was very clear that, it is Mr. Netanyahu desire to keep this for a moment, because he sees this political future of the continuations, or the continuation war. But also that comes along a statement by the Prime Minister himself with all the proposal incomplete, making remarks that seem aimed at sabotaging the deal and so on. So, but you are, I don't know how that issue would be. The fact that what you said, that Israel will agree, that Hamas agrees to this proposal, there's an element of certainty in what you're saying.
So, a good deal of that certainty study comes from the fact that this is Israel's proposal. Not the United States proposal.
Why isn't it this one?
Publicly,
what am I missing?
Proposal the government of Israel put forward. So, look, I understand why some people are cynical or have questions or look for ways that this deal might be completed. It doesn't change the bottom line right now, which there's a proposal on the table that Israel put forward, that the United States is backing, that Egypt is backing, that Qatar is backing, but not just those three countries who are mediators, but also a good number of countries around the world. And it's only Hamas that is saying no. Now, if you want to talk about how we get from phase 1 to phase 2, that is a fair question to ask, because there will be a great deal of negotiation that has to go on. But you can't even get there if Hamas doesn't say yes.
So, Hamas is supposed to say something to the actors.
State Department spokesperson Matthew Miller taking questions during the daily briefing at the State Department. He did mention where Secretary of State Blinken will be later this week. He'll be joining the president on a trip to France where they will mark 80 years since the D-Day landing in World War II. And during that trip, they'll also be meeting with French President Emmanuel Macron. As we had to break a live look once again on the scene on Capitol Hill any moment now, senators expected to speak after a policy luncheon. We'll keep an eye on that. And reminders we had to break that you can find our stories and so much more online. Check us out at scriptsnews.com, but we're also on social media, X, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, and Press. We'll be right back.
Okay, I want to continue.
Why is it not
himself, reclaiming his power, and I
He didn't do it with 2, he didn't do it with 4.
You down, Dougie. We're all rooting for you.
At Consumer Cellular, we pride ourselves in getting you the exact same nationwide coverage as the leading carriers. For up to half the cost. But don't worry, we've got a lot more than that going for us.
Like this beautiful store in Arizona, for example. It's the perfect place for me to tell you a little bit more about our phones and how they can become your phones. You name it, we've hardly got it. We have the top smartphones from all the major companies. If it's state-of-the-art cameras you want with space-age metal housing, we got them. If you want a smartphone with lots of bells and whistles but won't break the bank, we got that too. We got flip phones like the Irish Flip.
Why isn't that?
That should be it. Want something simple. And now, even our watches.
We do.
No matter what device you choose, you'll be happy to know that if your data needs change,
No problem.
with the Smart Flex feature, you don't have to sweat it. Let's say you're on a road trip out west and end up using a bunch of data. We can simply flex you up to the next data tier for as little as $5. Then, when you get home, you can flex right back down with no penalty, so you only pay for what you actually need.
With Consumer Cellular, you get the exact same nationwide coverage as the leading carriers for up to half the cost.
I know what you're thinking. What if I don't have one of these amazing stores in my town yet? Can I get these phones sent to me?
Yes, you can.
Will our award-winning customer service help me switch over? Or add like $15 to make my own family plan?
Of course they will.
Is it easy?
Easy as pie.
See that tower up there? It's a beauty. And there are thousands more like it, working hard for me and you, supplying 5G coverage to this beautiful nation of ours. We know how important coverage is. That's why we offer a risk-free guarantee. If you're not satisfied within 30 days of activation, you can pay nothing.
Oh, look. New customers who buy any phone get 2 months of service free when they sign up by July 31st. Call
Why isn't this?
1-800-485-8390 or visit consumercellular.com to switch today.
She knows what she's talking about. Pick up the phone.
Helping families with mesothelioma is all we do. Our firm has been offering a free book on mesothelioma for over 10 years. Since that time, thousands with mesothelioma have trusted us to represent them against those responsible. We have local offices throughout the U.S. Mesothelioma really is all we do, and there is no risk to you. Let us put a plan in place for you and your family.
There you go.
Call us at 800-642-9300
Yeah, right.
or go to puzzlebook.com.
Is that what you're not
Small
supposed to touch
steps,
with your
like
hands?
have a new part of your routine or a
Press
moment
the
where
button.
you can come
Press
together
the button,
to
Frank.
make changes for your weight loss, hair loss, anxiety, and more. Get a personalized treatment plan 100% online at florida's.com.
Welcome back.
The bar is burning hot.
Some of the
I
events that
can't
we're
touch it with
following
my bare
right
hands.
now. Keep a close eye on Capitol Hill on multiple
need this.
fronts. Keeping a watch on the House floor right now. Lawmakers speaking there. We are expecting to hear from senators soon after their policy luncheon. Then also
Found a radioactive bar that you're holding right in front of your face.
this morning. Now they're in the witness testimony. But let's
Can I
head
duplicate it?
to the House Judiciary Committee
I can
where they
duplicate
are
it.
questioning Attorney General
It's
Merrick
not gonna be
Garland. This
wrong.
started this morning and is continuing on right now live.
Went along with Jack Smith's
All right.
desires and his demands. Are you aware of that?
No, Mr. Grant to be an excellent lawyer, a long-time career prosecutor, a person of high ethics. And I know the issue you're talking about is disputed. Those facts are disputed in the district court in Florida and will be resolved by the judge in that case.
Yes, and that's why the case was stopped.
All right,
Because
it's,
it's obviously a concern there's something there. Are you aware that May 3rd, Special Counsel Smith himself acknowledged in the court filing
There
that
was some
after the
stuff.
FBI seized evidence that, and it's right on the
All
line,
right,
some of the evidence was
if I
altered,
remembered right,
manipulated, or disturbed.
I think,
Is that standard procedure?
I'm not ready
I had
anywhere
to,
where you said it was altered or manipulated. So I can't accept that characterization.
Mr. Attorney General, how do I get this special manner?
Or a
Are
federal.
you living in a bubble here? I mean,
I'm not living in a bubble, but
good God, it was huge. I mean, everybody saw it, everybody heard it. Smith himself said it. That's why that case was stopped.
you can show me where he said he manipulated the evidence. I'll have a different.
You don't like my word, that there was some tampering, and absolutely he said that he had touched the evidence, and we don't know what level, and now Americans are concerned, God knows what level it is, and whether we really know the truth. And I got a question about this. You know, President Trump, as you know, is being dragged through a political travesty, and it's a travesty orchestrated by Alvin Bragg. How is it that a man, Maxine Colangelo,
I don't get it. What
highest
anyway,
ranking individual
that's how you do it.
justice takes a pay cut and takes a cut in just, you know, what it is he does for a living, his
got a mouse inside?
prestige, go and join that case. I know you're saying you don't have the answer to that either.
To become an assistant U.S. attorney, and so
Sure.
a mother took an enormous pay cut, both of us as partners.
So your prestige went up.
Many people have had a view about doing the public good and not caring about how much money they make.
That's weird. Why would it do that? It says generator? So that's what that stone powers.
Yes, I have the Republicans have continued to misrepresent the Her report, saying that President Biden had a poor memory, and that's not supported by the special counsel's own record. As unanimous consent to evidence of record excerpts from the transcript of special counsel Murr's interview with President Biden. I'm reading from the transcript on October 8, 2023, at page 47, lines 20 to 21. Appear to have a photographic understanding and recall. What do you think?
It's back, the gentleman from Colorado. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. For Attorney General, it would be inappropriate for you to opine on the nature of ending an active prosecution.
I don't do anything.
Yes, there's a Justice Department policy against making those kind of comments.
It's a long-standing precedent.
Yes.
The reason why I bring that up, you know, I have great respect for my colleague from New Jersey. I understand He's not a lawyer by training, and the world needs good dentists, so it's nothing against his career choices. But I would just simply say, I find it shameful to have to endure, and I can only imagine how you feel about it, Mr. Attorney General. The lectures from some of my colleagues on the other side of the aisle about equal justice and the law, or adherence to the rule of law, to a man who has spent virtually his entire career in pursuit of upholding the rule of law. You talked a bit about your professional background. You started at the Department of Justice as a line prosecutor. I know you served as a special assistant prior to that, but the bulk of your early career at the Department of Justice was a line prosecutor. Drug trafficking, organized crime, violent crime cases.
Yes.
You then proceeded to become the principal associate deputy attorney general.
On title.
On title, important job. And in that capacity, you oversaw a series of very important criminal prosecutions, including the prosecutions connected to the Oklahoma City bombing. Is that right?
Yes.
You were nominated and you were confirmed on a bipartisan basis here in Washington, D.C., to the D.C. Circuit Court of Appeals. You rose to chief judge of the D.C. Circuit Court of Appeals.
I think that just
That may be, Mr. Attorney General, what I can say with confidence is that you have a more distinguished record with respect to fidelity to the rule of law than any member sitting on the dais here today. And I appreciate your integrity, your leadership of the department, and to be candid, your patience during the bulk of this hearing, which of course has focused on virtually every issue unconnected to the bulk of the work that is done by our nation's premier law enforcement agency. I've been in and out of this hearing. I believe it's correct that you haven't got any questions about cybercrime, let's say, for example. Fair, or foreign espionage. I know during your opening statement you talked about the decisive action the Department of Justice is taking in coordination with the DEA and the FBI against cartels. Very few questions about that today from my colleagues, unfortunately, unless I'm wrong.
Looks like a whole of it.
A litany of the work that's being done each and every day.
That is Attorney General Merrick Garland taking questions from members of the House Judiciary Committee. You can certainly see the contrast between how Republicans and Democrats are using their time. This is the hearing that began around 10 o'clock this morning. As we have the break, let's go back on the scene now to Wall Street. Live look at the Dow trading in the green. You can see some of the red dip from earlier in the day, but it has recovered at this point. We'll keep an eye on this and how it might impact your investments. Keep it here on the scene on Street.
Today, starting at 3, it's First News Live. And at 4, invest an hour with Maine and Long. And at 5, it's the big stories from across the country on the National Radio. And it's all on First News.
Turn to pay attention to the race, because it's placed on both sides of the aisle here. It can be seen on both sides of the aisle.
The race tonight at 6/5 Central, only on First News.
Attention everyone on both Medicare and Medicaid. Did you know you could be adding money back to your Social Security check every month? Certain beneficiaries qualify for specific benefits based on income verification. Get a free Medicare benefits review and see if you qualify. Just call 800-601-7955 now. This program helps lower Medicare costs like premiums, deductibles, and co-insurance. This is a state-based program. If you're not sure if you qualify, you can call the number on your screen and speak to a licensed insurance agent. Just call 800-601-7955 now. You could be adding money back to your Social Security check every month if you qualify. Certain beneficiaries qualify for specific benefits based on income verification. You may also qualify to enroll in other plans.
Okay, let's
Medicare Advantage, Medicare Supplement, even the Extra Help Program. Call to check your eligibility. The call and benefits review are free with no obligation to enroll. Just call 800-601-7955 now. That's 800-601-7955. Attention everyone on both Medicare and Medicaid. Did you know you could be adding money back to your Social Security check every month? Certain beneficiaries qualify for specific benefits based on income verification.
Ah, okay.
Free Medicare benefits review and see
So they'll line that up to that.
Call 800-601-7955 now. This program helps lower Medicare costs like premiums, deductibles, and co-insurance. Call the number on your screen and speak to a licensed insurance agent. Just call 800-601-7955 now. You could be adding money back to your Social Security check every month if you qualify. Beneficiaries qualify for specific benefits based on income verification. Call to check your eligibility. The call and benefits review are free with no obligation to enroll.
Take this out and line it up.
800-601-7955 now. That's 800-601-7955.
How do I take it out? How do you remove it? How do you remove this? Okay, so now I gotta go that. Like that. There you go.
Welcome back. Take a look at the 5 live events happening on your screen. From the top left there, you see Attorney General Merrick Garland with his testimony continuing right now. The State Department taking questions during its daily briefing. We're also keeping a close eye in Delaware. Mr. Biden is on trial facing federal gun charges. Then on the bottom left, you have a stakeout happening outside of where senators hold a policy luncheon each week, and they come out, talk about the issues important to them. We'll keep a close eye on that, as well as on the House floor for action there underway. Those just some of the stories that we're following this afternoon. Carolyn Brock on the scene in our newsroom, tracking some of the other things developing right now. Carolyn?
Yeah, Chris, the White House believes 5 American citizens are still
it looks like this part is
in Gaza. And National Security Advisor Jake Sullivan is going to meet with their family members later on today. NBC reports all the families are expected to be represented either in person or on the phone. This will be Sullivan's 9th such meeting since the hostage crisis started in October, and 24 American hostages have been released. In India, votes are currently being counted in its general election. The country's election commission reports that 16% of the seats have been called, with Prime Minister Narendra Modi's party leading in a majority of seats there. A total of 272 seats are needed to secure a majority. Modi has already claimed a historical victory, but he hasn't won just yet. Early results have shown that Modi's party will have to rely on its coalition partners to secure a win. This morning, he promised a new chapter of big decisions. 3 people were seriously hurt when their hot air balloon crashed after striking power lines in northwestern Indiana. Video shot from a passing vehicle exceeding some of the gear showed a large spark as that balloon hit those power lines. So scary. Their firefighters said that the balloon's pilot and 2 passengers suffered severe burns as that electric currents passed through the wooden basket there. Federal authorities are investigating the cause of this accident. The world's top-ranked tennis player, Novak Djokovic, withdrew from the French Open today because of an injury to his right knee. Djokovic was forced to give up his defense of the title of that tournament because he won last year, and he's going to relinquish his #1 ranking as a result. He hurt his knee during a 4th-round victory on Monday, and the MRI today revealed the extent of that damage. Djokovic was scheduled to face Norwegian Casper Ruud in a quarterfinal match on Wednesday. That's a look at some of the stories that we're following. Having to give up your #1 ranking because of an injury, that's, adds insult to injury.
I know, that's tough. How do wounds story? That's,
oh my gosh, right? It's supposed to be something that's relaxing to do.
I know. Oh, Carol, thank you. And thank you for joining us on the scene. I'm Chris Stewart from the audience. Leading your local programming is next. Tripcities.com. And if you're staying with us, we have lots more. Had a jury on the scene. A lot look at the Dow, that's in the green, the NASDAQ and S&P goes down.
If you're living with diabetes, I'll tell you the same thing I tell my patients. Getting on Dexcom Gene Better is one of the easiest ways to take better control of your diabetes and help protect yourself from the long-term health problems. This small wearable replaces finger sticks, lowers A1C, and is covered by Medicare. Not managing your diabetes really affects your health for the future. So you get the more complications you're going to see.
I know I'm getting of my diabetes anymore because it was causing my eyesight to go bad. And my kidneys, I started having issues.
Before the Dexcom G7, doctor's appointments were not something I looked forward to. It was a lot
I
of
got this right at the end of the I have never received such a kind of container. This type of material is reserved for sensitive packages.
which is the gland magnesium will high or steady. So I can quickly get my glucose under control to better protect myself from complications. My A1C is down to 5.8.
Call now to get started on Dexcom G7, the most recommended CGM brand. Dexcom G7 has changed our life forever.
So I got unstick this.
I'm a superstar. My A1C is 5.7. My A1C has never been lower. It's always down to 7. I go swimming, I run an exercise bike, and I play my grandkids. I finally have my life back.
My wife used to worry about me having diabetes before my Dexcom G7, but now she doesn't worry as much because she knows.
It gives me a lot of peace of mind. I wanted to be around for it. Dexcom G7 can improve your glucose control, which helps prevent long-term complications for a longer, healthier life. Call now to receive a free discussion guide for your next doctor visit. A lot of the time in weight loss, we focus on all the things we can't do, but our bodies can do a lot of things. Amazing things, hard things, fun things, things that feel good, things that are hard but worth it. Every Well Weight Care Plus focuses on the things you can do. Big steps, little steps, or lots of steps. It's a simple plan personalized to you and your goals. So discover what your body can do. Get started today at everlywell.com.
It's gonna be the next one, huh? Nothing here.
Thank you for joining us on the scene this afternoon. I'm Chris Stewart in Atlanta. For the next hour, we'll take you everywhere you know around the world live. Here's what we're watching right now. Testimony continuing involving Attorney General Merrick Garland in front of the House Judiciary Committee. This began 4 hours ago.
Man, those committees are going crazy this week.
Still going on.
They're talking to everybody.
Its daily briefing. You see in the top right, that is where we are expecting President Biden to speak sometime within the next couple of minutes. It's expected to be around 2 p.m. He may be running a little bit late. The executive action he is expected to take on the southern border, limiting the amount of asylum seekers from entering the United States. Also on Capitol Hill, we're expecting senators to speak after the policy luncheon. And then we see the president's son, Hunter Biden, inside that federal courthouse in Delaware, where his federal gun trial is continuing on. Opening statements were earlier today. And let's go on the scene this hour to Delaware, where Hunter Biden is on trial on those federal gun-related charges. He's accused of buying and possessing a firearm in 2018 while he was using drugs.
Buying and possessing a firearm.
He is also charged with lying on a federal gun purchase form about his drug use. Hunter Biden pleaded not guilty to all 3 charges. Joining us now to discuss is criminal defense attorney and former federal prosecutor Sarah Kristoff. Thank you for taking the time to be with us today. What makes this case, and I know Hunter Biden is the president's son, but what makes this case unique from your perspective?
These types of charges often aren't charged as standalone cases. So sometimes they're part of a larger case, they're added on to other matters. But to have a case that is simply a felon in possession.
Felonous possession?
Charges related to the
What the fuck is a felonous possession?
It is unusual to have.
Can it be like a felony possession?
Technically illegal.
Felonous possession, I swear, man.
Pursued by the Department of Justice.
Anyway.
And you have this.
And it seems to be stuck because it looks like it's got damage.
Drugs at the time that he purchased this gun. How does the defense defend Hunter Biden when the Constitution has that?
I was very curious of what they were going to say in their opening statement. It was brief.
Oh, you're reaching an experience
really
with.
Focused in on timing here.
How would you reach
what
it?
Hunter
I don't know.
Biden knew or believed about himself at the time he purchased the gun. I think that in the
can't copy it, right?
on the other hand, is really going to focus on
I don't know. Duplicate.
that
Duplicate this
Hunter Biden
one?
was an addict at the time of this purchase, at the time he filled out these forms. The defense also focused on
of who filled out these forms. Was there intent? Was there knowledge about the boxes that were checked in the forms to perhaps undermine the jury's confidence in the prosecution's case related to the illegal forms?
And Hunter, part of his defense is he didn't know at the time that he was addicted to drugs when he purchased this firearm. I mean, how strong of an argument?
But you gotta close that first. Right?
It's going to be an uphill battle for them. I think the prosecution does these types of gun cases all the time. Not with this particular predicate, as I said, these are often charged like this. But they do felon possession cases, other gun possession cases all the time. They have their sort of a playbook how to present those to the jury. The prosecution is going to follow that playbook here. And you know, I think they have a pretty tight case. Biden's team is going to, try to whittle away at that case where they can and also preserve their rights on appeal.
Obviously, it has nothing to do with this over here because I can't get back there. The switch. I need something in here.
It's an uphill battle for his
How do I manipulate this?
Defense here. Again, I think that the
I don't see any way to manipulate that.
Prosecution, but
Well, I can just press that button and it does nothing.
he preserves all of his appeals. He's going to continue to challenge it all the way up. He had a plea agreement in place. That plea agreement sort of fell apart upon questioning by the judge. So here we are in court.
And some of these witnesses that are expected to be called, you have people like his ex-wife. This appears like it would be very personal testimony. What are some of the details you're expecting to come out throughout the testimony of this trial?
I think they're, again, going to really focus in on the drug
Just gotta do them all, or no? It's either there or there.
The prosecution theory is up for a very short period of time, and then ultimately disposed of by Hunter Biden's wife at that time. So they're going to have to really tie this addiction to that period of time. They went to the events relating to the purchase of the gun, the trip to the gun store, the disposal of the gun in this dumpster. The circumstances of the disposal of the gun are also going to be an issue, as I understand that there was some residue of drugs found on the gun. Hunter Biden's team is going to place that responsibility for that. Hunter Biden is going the prosecution is certainly going to try this responsibility.
There you go. Now I can move it.
See which way the jury.
How often are these cases, how often do they end when it comes to, how often do these end in plea agreements as opposed to going to trial?
What is that?
So the vast majority of federal cases result in pleas. And then of the federal cases that are tried, that go to a trial, most of those end in conviction. So the odds are sort of strongly in favor of a conviction once you get to that trial phase. I mean, that's not to say there aren't acquittals, but in terms of the statistics, it is much more likely to have a conviction once you get to this trial phase.
Let's see what happens. Criminal defense attorney, former federal prosecutor Sarah Kristoff, thanks for being with us. And we're going to go back on the scene in Capitol Hill right now.
This
Senator Chuck Schumer, Senate Majority Leader, speaking right now.
Take it out with this? Now I'm going to put this in there, right? I was supposed to hold it with my hands. Okay, so
on Selfridge that allowed us to go downstairs and look at the original document, first time you showed the cabinet. It was in my pocket, not pinned on, because the stem broke. Appropriate given what the Supreme Court has done to human rights and women's rights in the last few years. Okay, we're going to carry. So more than a century stands between this generation and the generation that made it possible for women to vote. But in many ways, we still share their struggle for greater justice and equality. We still carry the same moral duty they bore to make our nation a more faithful reflection of our founding ideals. The march for equality for women and for all Americans is certainly not over, as the opening stem indicates. And And that is why we Senate Democrats are going to continue to fight for women's freedoms this week, including the vote on the right to contraception. When women are told by hard-right politicians that their health care decisions are not theirs to make, the march is still not over. On this 105th anniversary of the passage of the 19th Amendment, we must confront the ugly truth that women sadly have fewer freedoms than they did just a few years ago. So tomorrow, the Senate will defend the freedom of choice with a vote on the right to contraception act led by Markey and Hirota. Federal protections for contraceptives are a critical piece of protecting women's reproductive freedoms. This legislation will codify the right to conception into federal law. As MAGA Republicans continue to block protections for access to contraceptives at the state level, there are several states where the legislature is in the process of doing that right now. It is vital we protect contraception at the federal level. Prevent the states from doing this. To those who think that federal action protecting access to birth control is not vital, they are wrong. Republicans are openly blocking these protections in states across the country. There's going to be more action to come.
There you go. Press the button, Frank.
Consideration on the floor. I intend to bring this legislation protecting access
Senator Chuck Schumer speaking after the Senate policy luncheon after we have the great live broadcast of White House over President Biden will speak any minute now. We'll be right back.
This ain't didn't work, but better to stop it for now. No need to set my workshop on fire.
These days we're all watching our budgets and making choices on what matters most.
So simple and
really matters is dental insurance, because the fact is, great oral health is critical to your overall health. And your overall health matters most to us. That's why Humana Dental is committed to helping you keep your teeth and gums healthy. Just call the number on your screen or visit us online.
How many chapters I got?
For a free quote. Help you choose from a range of dental plans
7.
to meet your whole family's needs.
2 more chapters to go.
Starting as low as $18 a month. That's only 60 cents a
Yeah, let's savor this game for a little bit more, and we'll stop it here.
Just call the number on your screen.
Because it is, you know, it works my mind.
For a free quote. We're here to help.
So,
You'll find getting dental insurance has never
it's
been
fun,
easier.
but it's simple. I was expecting it to be a little bit more complicated.
That's a fact. You can save
Well, not
basic
complicated, more challenging, really.
instructions and more.
It does
You'll also get
get challenging, but
for in-network preventative care.
once I figure it out, it's like, oh, it's simple, you know?
Like root canals, crowns, and dentures.
Oh well, that's it for today. Maybe tomorrow we'll do 8 and 9, or we'll do 8 and then 9 following days. But for right now, let's call it a day.
Humana also offers plans as low as $12 a month, including coverage for exams.
Call it a day. How long have I been here? 1.2, about an hour and a half?
To talk to us today.
Yeah.
We're here to help you. Because when it comes to getting
let's check out
call now or go online for free.
let's check out how Trump is doing.
Humana. More human way to healthcare.
It's down to 45, 41. Yeah, it's gonna be closing around 45. Let's see if they deleted me again. No, they haven't deleted me yet. 10 likes. I got 10 likes. Cool.
If you're paying over $60 a month for streaming TV, when
I got you 10 likes.
you're paying.
I put up their liquidation conviction sale. Buy now before they are all gone. All shares must go. Must make cash from primary investor. Only 176.7 million shares left. Buy, and buy. Buy some for your mothers, sisters, brothers, fathers, wives, and husbands. Buy for the family pet, be it dog, cat, fish, or bird. Buy some for your next door neighbor, be he MAGA or not. It is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to buy. Be the first one on your block to lose the shirt off your back. Heck, be the first one on your block to lose your pants, boxers, socks, and shoes. By now. I got me 10 likes on that. Well, 10 reactions, really. Some people love it. Some people think it's right on. And some people hate it. No, 2 people hate it. Okay, I've never seen this before. 2 people hate it, 2 people love it, and 6 people thought it was all right. Cool. And then this guy here, this Brian Samaru, he's a Trump lover. He thinks he's making money on this. Probably is. You know, if he knows what he's doing, he could be making money on this fucking stock right now. Because it goes up, goes down, goes up, goes down, you know. It started out at like at $71, and the highest it's been since, the IPO of $71 has been like in the 50s. No, yeah, right. It was $56. The highest one was $56. The lowest it's gotten is like $22. And from that low of $22, that was April 16th, it shot up all the way up to $56 on May 16th. And since then, it's been kind of like steadily down. Like today, it opened up at $46.74, and right now it's selling at $45.41. So it's lost like $1 and some change. Yeah. And as of 2:09 p.m., it's at 45.36. So it's going to be closing around in this range here. It's going to see how it does that. It's going to go, yeah, I'd say, if I were to make a prediction, I would say it's going to close around 45.30, somewhere around there. But that's the Trump stock. Anyway, he says 44.82. The verdict, that's today. The verdict shall be overturned. Yeah. Keep dreaming, motherfucker. You moron. The stock shall rise again as per a few months ago. Yeah, believe that. Don't celebrate too much. Yeah. He's talking to the Trump haters. We're not Trump haters, we can see it's a worthless people. It has no income, it has millions of dollars in losses, and the only thing it's a platform for Trump to rant and rage. Anyway, instead study stock 101 and try to pass by zero knowledge of the stock market. Yeah, you do have zero knowledge of the stock market. Anyway, I posted a reply to this that I said the people that have insisted on investing in this stock have all probably been new to the investment world and come from the world of collectibles such as commemorative dishes, black velvet Elvis posters, and limited issue coins. I, being literally a financial moron, saw this stock tank on day 1 of the IPO. Like from what was it, March 27th, I think it was, when it came out. I said, that's where it's going to go, and that's how far it's going to fall. But you got all these people that insist on buying this stupid stock, and the only reason is they buy it is because their leader, they love Trump, and they want to give him money. Oh well, they deserve it. They deserve it. So, anyway, that's it for today. And maybe at the end of the week, I'll have a surprise for everybody. I bought something. It's a life-changing something for me, but I'll let you all know when it comes in. And maybe I'll do an unboxing of it. Yeah. All right. So, until next time, when we'll meet again, happy trails to, remember, Roy Rogers, Dale Evans, Trader, King of Cowboys, until we meet again, happy trails to meet again. Anyway, bye-bye. Bye. Bye.